control, recoil, tons of damage per mag. I mean, we'll see how this M60 plays out on this map.
Yeah, and we do have chat saying how much versus Soil to oil up this very moment. You could probably make an offer there. They do call him Sensual Sensoyo for a reason. You've seen the candles in the background, but I digress. We're getting onto Skyway here. We're seeing a little bit of changes coming out on the loadouts. We do have an M60 coming out on Drax here. We'll see how this ends up playing out here as both teams end up spawning pretty close together, both taking pads over onto this building here, and Vanguard is going to get this tap. Ape Squad coming in pretty quick here, though. I'm assuming maybe some ARNs coming out of at least one of the lights here, but maybe not. You can go either way on this map. We do see the data reshaper coming out on Krieger again. Maybe some big plays coming out with that. We'll see. But both teams just kind of posturing up on this box here. Nothing really important happening yet, but Manda taking lots of damage from Red Fox with that 93R. Krieger's trying to block off. Oh, big pick from Krieger with that F-Car, and now the fight immediately breaks out with RPGs coming out of both sides. That APS just barely not able to block that as Ape Squad gets that wipe, and now they're able to move this box.
Yeah, I mean, that early pick through that crawl space is going to offer them a great advantage, and now they get the plug over on B side. I mean, I do think the spawns for B aren't going to be the greatest. I think they spawn down low, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not in this position, but if it's on the other side of the suspended structure, they would spawn towards that center area. But fortunately for them, they do get this spawn over. They're going to gateway right into there and get their team over. Our Pika drops the end of the gateway, padding right up. No time to waste, just going full aggro as that barricades come out, looking to block oh my god, APS blocks the shot as well, but it's not going to be enough for Vanguard as Drax is taken out. Red Fox gets traded out as well. Executor going to be the last one down, and our Pika going to try and make a Hail Mary play in a 2v1 situation. He has the opportunity to take out Krieger, but Manda just going to look for a slow res. Our Pika is going to be privy to this. Look up for that flank, and the flick from Manda, clutching up.
Wow. Crazy fight from both teams there. I mean, that could have gone either way. I do want to give a shout out to Vanguard there, Executor on that APS. Crazy timed APS to drop that down right when that RPG ends up coming out and blocking that RPG. But Manda was able to still get the winch off on Drax and get that entry pick as the Invis pad play came in pretty handy there. But Vanguard is going to come back up now. They still do have plenty of time on this box as it's just barely past halfway here as Vanguard is going to get over again, but our Pika almost ends up going down on the cross there, but he does end up making it over. The rest of his team follows through the gateway here as they're going to try to come back up and get into this box here. They're going to have to be aggro again, though. Invis coming out of Red Fox as he's trying to get some information. Vanguard looking for a good way to pad in here, and here they come. Pads end up going out, but all of Ape Squad ends up dropping. I like this play from them, just kiting. They know there's not a lot of timeout on this point. They're just going to opt for the stall. The drop does end up going out. The APS is close to this point there, but huge damage coming out onto Executor. They have to make this play. There's not a lot of time. They're just dropping this one down again from Manda, coming up from underneath, dropping it with the RPG, getting a winch off, ends up dying, but getting the stall off. Ape Squad is going to take this first box, but Vanguard is going to take the fight. Almost, not quite yet, though. Red Fox ends up making out with 4 HP. It's going to be a light 1v1, but he's got no HP. He does end up finally getting that recovery.
Oh, what a pick from our Pika.
Holy moly, great shots from that 93R. Crazy light 1v1, but Ape Squad was able to hold on to that objective.
I mean, what a great fight from Vanguard, but I mean, the stalls were going to come out in full force, not able to move that APS in time to block that RPG, just too much pressure coming out, and great awareness from Manda to just drop down, play the low ground. He knows that APS is already down and it's not going to cover their bases. I mean, great foresight to use that RPG to drop it yet again. But Ape Squad now going to have a hard rotation up to this high ground. I don't even think they need to make this push, but they're going to go for it anyway, I guess.
Yep, and they're coming in here with another Invis pad as they're coming up onto the roof here. But Vanguard does already have that gateway set up, so they're going to take that and just move it over there. Maybe they hear them, though. The gateway, oh, they just moved it up a little bit forward there. They do end up taking that gateway, going through. Ape Squad is on the chase now, right behind them, as they're going to try to get as close to beating them to A as they possibly can as they're going through. They are right on the tail of Vanguard here as Vanguard's trying to get this plug. Red Barrel going through, not quite connecting as they take the Mega Pad getting up there. Big damage coming out from the F-Car in the shack, though, but Drax does end up getting healed back up. I do want to point out Executor is on heal beam for this map. They do not have the DMAT anymore, but huge winch coming out. Executor ends up going down. Krieger Blue does end up getting that fib back up on Amanda, and it's only Drax left up.
Yeah, and that fib coming in clutch. I don't even think Vanguard knew that fib came in because Drax had to just flick and get caught by surprise. We do see now Ape Squad taking this box on Cachete. Will they winch this off? It could be a smart move. Manda now lining it up, looking to bring that off. Love that.
Yeah, great plays coming out of Ape Squad here. Already a lot of time on this point. That box did end up getting plugged pretty early, so we are coming up on the halfway point, but Vanguard is all back up. They end up all padding onto Krieger. Krieger's kind of caught out by himself. He's going to have to drop and try to run away here and play his life. Vanguard not able to connect to him. He does end up making it out, but Vanguard's going to have to make a play on this point here. APS goes down. They're going to try to move the box over a little bit, reposition this APS. APS does end up blocking that RPG. They are going to go for the swap here. Pika getting some pretty good damage on Amanda there. They do end up getting that swap, but Ape Squad getting lots of damage. Pika is going to have to not peek here. He's still 1 HP. Drax ends up going down on the mantle. Ape Squad has a lot of time to reposition this. I love that APS on the barrel there so that Vanguard can just keep repositioning that, but Manda just ends up throwing it away there now that Drax is dead. Now it's a 2v2 though because Pika ends up taking out Red Fox in the light 1v1. They are going to try to go for a smoke steal here, but the gas is kind of blocking it off a little bit. They're going to have to try to winch that out, which they do, but it's on high ground now. They're going to have to make this steal quick, though. There's not a lot of time. Pika doing a really good job repositioning over and over and over and always getting a new angle, but that gas on the point is doing so much damage to Amanda. Vanguard is going to end up taking this point, and we are going to go to another tiebreaker box in this match on Skyway Stadium.
Yeah, Ape Squad, it really needs to get a pick to happen while Vanguard was stealing to really swing that fight in their favor. Unfortunately, they got the fight, they got the flip, and they only got a pick shortly after they were able to rotate out. So, I mean, we saw Executor and Pika able to just posture up, play their defense, and Executor, I mean, his gas plays are just phenomenal. He's able to put those gases on those points, even in the lick of time, just the craziest angles. I mean, he's throwing those mines like Frisbees.
Yeah, and putting the APS on the fire barrel there so that he's able to pick it up and move it around as they're winching around that cash box so that they always have that protection from the APS. Manda with a huge lob C4 in there, but unfortunately, speaking of, ends up getting blocked by that APS as Vanguard takes the gate and gets out of there. They're moving this box over to B.
Yeah, and gonna get this plug, and this is a very deadly point. It's gonna provide great line of sight on this pad up. We're going to see this blacktop just being held strong. They use that invis bomb to rotate up, but a Red Barrel gets hit mid-air while they're jumping over. But we see them posturing up, getting a trade of their own, and now in a 1v1, Drax getting taken out. It's 2v1, and it's Pika versus Manda. Manda needs to look for a positional advantage. Maybe he's going to go for the res as Pika looks in to go for that push. And he does get taken out. Manda should have taken that pad right up to the high ground to force out a crazy play. Maybe trade out a res there, force Pika to go for that res as well. But now this is exactly where Vanguard wants to be holding on this high ground. Spawn back in. It's going to be another tough push for Ape Squad.
That Red Barrel balloon timing was crazy. They saw them pad over, shot a balloon of Red Barrels above their head right as they landed off that pad, and I think at least 2 of those Red Barrels connected. So much entry damage, but Ape Squad is back up, and they are getting over now. Red Fox taking a lot of damage on the cross. He's going to get healed right back up, though, as they're making their way up this staircase. Vanguard does have this high ground. Ape Squad has a lot of ground to cover because it is on that suspended structure up there. They're going to have to find a way up. They do have this pad here, but it's angled a little bit awkwardly as this roof is broken down here. They do spot Vanguard, though. Vanguard counter pad coming out. RPG, unfortunately, does not connect. I think it hit the pad. Manda accidentally takes the pad as well, ends up getting beamed out of the sky. He's 1 HP. Krieger ends up going down to that repeater. Huge damage from the repeater. Ape Squad is only Red Fox left alive now. He's trying to do as much work as he can because he doesn't have a lot of time here, so he needs to make something happen. But it's just one light and a dream. As this light 1v1 is popping off, he ends up going down to Pika with the 93R. Vanguard is going to take this map, and I believe we are in a tie again.
Vanguard's going to be going up one match. We got one more map for this game to be coming in. I mean, this could be, I mean, we could go to a tie in this full round of show matches. I mean, these teams are going back and forth.
Yeah, it's just a back-to-back tie, back-to-back tiebreaker in the games, tiebreaker cash outs. Holy moly, these are just some fun scrims to watch. And I mean, I hope the teams are feeling like they're getting just as much practice in these games as well, because the plays coming out of these guys are crazy, coming out of both teams here. I mean, those fights are just insane. Even with Ape Squad getting hit by that red barrel balloon as they're crossing over, they still almost ended up turning that fight in their favor. But holy moly, our Pika with the double digits, 11 kills, ended up taking the MVP of that map with 7K damage, going crazy with that 93.